Ain't no secret, should do Eddie Kane Jr. Like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe to me, leave a comment down the video so I can sub back to you. Deuce. Ain't no secret, should do Eddie Kane Jr. Like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe to me, leave a comment down the post. I'ma sub back to you. Rit. Now I'm talking about? Hey, my people. Y'all know why we here. We got Drea O. She's about to speak on 5 things that you may not know about the FBG Duck O Block 6 RICO trial, murder trial, you know what I'm saying? She about to let you know 5 things, and we're gonna go and see what's going on with that. Renegades, y'all know why we here.
"16 times. That's how many times they shot FBG Duck the day that he was murdered. They shot him in his finger, the back of his neck. They even shot him in the head. As FBG Duck lay lying, bleeding on the floor, authorities walked up to him and asked, "Where are you shot?" He said, "Everywhere. I'm shot everywhere." Closing arguments began on Friday. The state testified for 3 hours, then rested their case. Who really killed FBG Duck? Was it the O Block 5? We're only days away from learning the verdict. Here are 5 things that you may not have known that happened during the FBG Duck trial. Number 1, the feds were asking for the death penalty. So everybody knows everything that transpired in the case, but I don't think a lot of people know the reason why it became a federal case. The reason why it became a federal case is because they used switches for the murder.
Okay. Drea O comes out and says that the reason that this case went federal is because they used switches, you know what I'm saying? Fine and dandy. But I also think this case would have went federal. They are already pursuing the RICO, and the fact of where this took place. This took place down there in the Gold Coast. This is where, you know what I'm saying, bread at, you know what I'm saying, where the money is at. Kind of an unwritten rule that stuff don't really take place down there, you know what I'm saying? These cats ignored that. So I think feds is gonna jump in on this regardless, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? They was gonna get this regardless because they had to make an example out of these cats, you know what I'm saying? Because they went down there and broke the unwritten rule. You know what I'm saying? It's rules out here, but some cats think the rules don't apply. You know what I'm saying? And the rules is there to keep you out the way. You know what I'm saying? You don't go down. Now, perfect example, I don't condone violence. I do not condone violence. But if this happens on 63rd instead of the Gold Coast, this mug don't go federal. This does not go federal. And who's to say either, like, if they'd have had footage or whatever, because it was happening in, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't down there where the bread was at, you know what I'm saying? So that's a rule that was there to protect them. They didn't heed it, you know what I'm saying?
Allegedly, because obviously they haven't been convicted yet, but FBG Duck was shot 16 times, and that's just not a regular weapon. They use switches, and that automatically made it a federal case. So the feds were actually asking for the death penalty, and they went to Mama Duck. They approached her with the idea. They wanted to get her support on it, and she said no. She said she doesn't want to see the demise of 6 more Black men, rather that they just spend life in prison. So she declined the offer. She did not want to pursue the death penalty in any way. She decided to just go for life in prison. They were initially offered 50 years, but they turned that down.
Oh boy, that's crazy. Man, when your plea deal is the 50 ball, you know what I'm saying? The last time I saw that was former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick. When they offered him his plea deal, it was something around that 50 ball, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. That's basically life. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at that. That's life. You know what I'm talking about? So, but fortunately for Kwame Kilpatrick, now when Barack Obama was president, he didn't give Kwame Kilpatrick a pardon. But on Trump way out the back door, he pardoned Kwame Kilpatrick, you know what I'm saying? Now he out here, hey, hopefully he using the second chance wisely and is trying to be a productive member of society. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. Hey, that 50 ball, you might as well take that to the box, you know what I'm saying? Because you just never know. It might be some reasonable doubt in a juror's head, you know what I'm saying? Anything, or you can, you know what I'm saying, blow trial and come around on the pill, you know what I'm talking about? So, it just is what it is. I think they definitely did the right thing. I would have done that too, you know what I'm saying? I'd have took this to the box. Hey, we gonna see what happens, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen, you know what I'm talking about? Now, the odds against you, as we all know, the feds have a crazy high conviction rate, you know what I'm saying? So the odds are stacked against you already, but at least it's a chance, you know what I'm saying? Their conviction rate not 100%, it's just 99.999, you know, it's still that slim chance, you know what I'm saying?
But now they're looking at life. And if they're convicted, they'll get life in prison. But like I said, it could have been worse. They did want the death penalty, but Mama Dove said no. But moving on to the second thing that I think a lot of people didn't know about this case, let's talk about Los's car. So a lot of people were questioning, why would you commit a murder in a car and then return it back to the dealership? So that is actually a way deeper story than a lot of people know that it is. So Los actually allegedly purchased this car in cash with fake bank statements and like CPN information. I don't know, some of you guys probably don't know what that means, but basically he presented false documents to get the car, and then he paid for the car in cash. And you know how dealerships are super thirsty to sell cars. They basically sold him the vehicle. Once they actually investigated the paperwork and seeing, you know, they verified his bank statements and where he worked, where he said he worked, they found out that the paperwork was fraudulent. And they called him and they were actually asking for the car back. So the whole reason why he had to return the car is because the dealership found out that the paperwork he presented to purchase the car were fake and they wanted the vehicle back. So he actually...
Bro, this where they lose me though, man. This where Los Mana and the crew lose me at, you know what I'm saying? Because his choice to use this automobile in the commission of a crime, allegedly, with him doing that, you brought all that into play. So now, instead of just, you know what I'm saying, not using that car in that commission, you know what I'm saying, allegedly of that crime, getting a dummy, you know what I'm saying, whatever, a throwaway car, getting a throwaway car for this, you know what I'm saying? And if you was going to return that car, you do that, you know what I'm saying? Like, whenever, you know what I'm saying? That takes place, but it doesn't, you don't use that car to tie y'all back to it, because boom, when y'all return that car, y'all get photographed returning the car. It's Los baby mama was driving, you know what I'm saying? So you bring another witness in against you. It's so many cooperators and witnesses, you don't even need no more, but you bring in, y'all action right here brings in one more, because it's Los baby mama, Los Mana, Zell Mana, rest in peace, and Muwap, you know what I'm saying? So, and she's photographed, you know what I'm saying, picking these cats up, taking them to another Oblakian's house, you know what I'm saying? So with that being reckless like that, you brought another witness against you, you know what I'm saying? Let alone y'all each other statements that y'all got amongst yourselves. You're bringing in other people into it, you know what I'm saying?
He had to return the car way before he ever even allegedly knew that he was going to use it as the murder vehicle. So basically, around 4:30, they allegedly drove downtown, committed the murder, and then right after, he returned the vehicle back to the dealership. The dealership cleaned the vehicle and actually put it back in the market to be sold. So that is the reason why he actually allegedly committed the murder and returned the vehicle. He had to return the vehicle because he used fraudulent paperwork. He obtained the vehicle, but by the time they actually located it, it was completely clean, wiped down, completely detailed and resold. Number 3, the third thing I think a lot of people didn't realize that happened in the course of the trial, they actually have videotape of the murder. So, as everybody knows, the murder was committed downtown in a luxury area. Dolce & Gabbana, all of these big item stores are located on the street, and they have surveillance cameras everywhere. So
now we get back with Drea O. We got right now that, you know what I'm saying, they say that that the assassination of FBG Duck, rest in peace, is caught on camera. Now, we know that's the Gold Coast, you know what I'm saying? They're going to have state-of-the-art, because as y'all saw, those are clear pictures, you know what I'm saying? State-of-the-art cameras down there. But even in these hoods, y'all think these cameras just there for decoration? Y'all think these cameras ain't working? These cameras work when they, you know what I'm saying? When they want them to work, these cameras work all over, you know what I'm saying? It's cameras everywhere, you know what I'm talking about? If it's a time that they want the mugs to work, trust and believe, that mug gonna come out with a picture, you know what I'm saying? And it might not come out the best quality, but they got people that are, you know what I'm saying, wash that mug down, and, you know what I'm saying, they will make it, you know what I'm saying, what it is, you know what I'm talking about? So, to do it down there at the Gold Coast, though, man, allegedly, that's crazy, man. Like you say, let alone all the cameras that they got posted everywhere. This is that social media age. Everybody got their cameras, you know what I'm saying, too. Perfect example, THF Teasy, the security guard at the store they went in, he recording him because he looked straight sus, so he's recording him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing that came out of this, because you acting so sus and you moving wrong already, you know what I'm saying? You calling these folks on the live acting like you getting pressed down there when it's not the case. It's basically off of your emotions about your baby mom, you know what I'm saying? Duck used to knock her a while ago, you know what I'm saying? Or when even if they're doing it right now, bro, you not with her no more, man. Cats will go to jail behind a woman, you know what I'm saying? And she be out here doing whatever. You up in jail, and she out here doing whatever. Bro, y'all gonna learn, you know what I'm saying?
Actually caught the whole entire murder. The video that was shown in court, we could see Duck in the store. He's in line, and Day-Day's actually behind him. So a lot of people were speculating Day-Day's role. From what I believe and from what people are gathering, Day-Day was just there as an innocent bystander. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. A lot of people are trying to say that Day-Day is Muwok's cousin or uncle. Nobody's been able to verify that that's true. Duck actually peeped them coming from afar, and he came out of the store and tried to duck down in between the two cars. On the video, they have a tall figure who the witness have identified as Muwok, with a mask on, and he's the first person that actually shoots FBG Duck, allegedly. The second shooter is allegedly Kenny Mack, identified by the witnesses. Kenny Mack hops out. The girl that's with Duck is not his girlfriend. It's just a girl that Duck knew for like only a couple months. So this is a pretty new relationship between the two, and she was just kind of along for the ride. Duck went downtown to purchase a birthday present for his son. It was actually his son's birthday, which is horrible. Not his son's birthday. The girl ends up having a gun.
Now, just the one thing, you know what I'm saying? You got to know who you're with, you know what I'm saying? Old girl rolling with FBG Duck in the rack. She know this brother got smoke, funk in his city, you know what I'm saying? And y'all not moving right, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, boom. She went down, she took it upon herself to go down there with Duck. He going to get the gift for his son. Once Duck saw cats, you know what I'm saying, moving funny, you know what I'm saying, that's the time to get up out of there, you know what I'm saying? And this ain't to say, you know what I'm saying, I don't know the situation if he had opportunity, but once your spidey sense went off, that's when it's time to dip, because you got a lot of ops, man. You got a lot of folks. You had just made that song Dead Bees not too long before that, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I got to be honest, it was a good song, but it was highly disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? So do I think that's like just a motivating only factor reason why that assassination took place? No, I don't, because they were ops, you know what I'm saying? It just is what it is, but that song didn't help, you know what I'm talking about?
She ups it and she starts shooting back. And allegedly, Kenny Mack, who has a mask on and is identified by the witnesses, shoots her in the wrist and she drops the gun. And so when she drops the gun, she runs to check out Duck, and then they just continue shooting. And a lot of people don't know this. The vehicle that was used, the second vehicle, that wasn't the rental that Los returned, was actually Kenny Mack's vehicle. They located Kenny.
Bro, again, Kenny Mack, my brother. Why are you using your personal vehicle in the commission of a crime, and you're down there in the Gold Coast with cameras everywhere, bro? Like, why would you use your own whip, man? Like, that's I don't understand that. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a proponent for no crime, no way, shape, or form. I'm just a proponent of logic and clear thinking, you know what I'm saying, and being smart. That's all I'm a proponent of, you know what I'm saying? No violence. But bro, you use your own whip on the hit, you know what I'm saying? Down at the Gold Coast, you know what I'm talking about? Like, stuff, and I understand it's spur of the moment. Y'all get that call, y'all got to go. But still, even spur of the moment, I'm not using my own whip, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And plus, with the location being what it was, you know what I'm saying? If anything, I sent a spotter down there, you know what I'm saying? Send somebody down there, boom. Go down there, just chill, wait and see, you know what I'm saying? Be on the lookout, follow movements. That's what I'm saying to do, not to go down and do it. So then you go out there and make preparations. You know what I'm saying? Got to use your head, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, but I'm definitely, we're about to see what happens with this case, and if justice is dealt or if something happens unexpectedly. We shall see.
Vehicle a couple days later, and when they located it, it had a shell casing in the car that was found. The bullet that was in her hand was found in Kenny Mack's car, allegedly. So they were able to identify those two things and bring them together as evidence. So that's probably one of the strongest things that they have that link everything together. So I don't think a lot of people know that at all. I don't think that was talked about at all.
Boom. Now, Kenny Mack, you kind of caught yourself up just on the fact that your aim was good. I mean, I guess you're using the switch, so I mean, I guess it is what it is. But your bullet that strikes the young lady or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? They recover that bullet, and they got the casing in your car. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just say your aim is off. You don't strike her, or you didn't hit Duck allegedly, and you don't strike her wrist. Your bullet just gets lost in the shuffle. That's one less thing even connecting you down there. You know what I'm saying? Because then they won't, you know what I'm saying, they won't have that shell casing, you know what I'm saying, in your car. You know what I'm talking about? They won't have that. Don't use your own, man. These cats using personal cars, and it's wild, man. Like, and I'm not trying to pile on them, man, because I know they got the weight on their shoulders right now. You know what I'm saying? This is not to pile on them. This just like decisions we make, man.
But yeah, they actually showed the video. But here's the thing, and this is why the old block lawyers are arguing that you still can't prove it was them. They have masks on. You can't see their face. You can't really identify any of them from the surveillance camera. But if you know who they are and you know their body type, you know their body frame, you can tell who it is. Like we talked about earlier, if you see the back of my head and the silhouette of my body, you know, you could probably identify that it's me without seeing your face.
Now this one right here, now I appreciate Drea O. You know what I'm saying? This is great content that she's providing, but I'm one of the minority, I guess, who would not know her. I don't even know her, like, her face, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really just heard about Drea O. No shade, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, me. I just heard about Drea O just now, like about a couple weeks ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never knew. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure she has no idea who Eddie Kane Jr. is, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know who she was, you know what I'm saying? Until, like, this like one of my first times seeing this young lady, you know what I'm saying? But I digress.
But none of their faces are shown. They're all wearing masks. Their identities are all concealed. but you can kind of see their body frames, and if you know them, you could probably identify them from the lineup. So I think that was probably one of the biggest breaking things that happened. Actually, seeing the video was really, really compelling. He was shot 16 times. They shot him back of the neck. They shot him in his finger. They shot him in his groin area. And when the authorities walked up and asked him where he was shot, he let out, "I'm shot everywhere, shot everywhere." So he actually laid there for a long time. The hospital was only like 10 minutes up the street. It took them 45 minutes to get him there. So a lot of people argue about whether they kind of like botched that whole situation, but I think it was just hard to move him. I don't know, because I can't say exactly what happened, but all I know is that the hospital was up the street. He laid there for it took them 45 minutes to get him to the hospital. I think that a lot of people argue about whether they should have gave him CPR right away. I think that that might have helped him. They also were asking a shot man questions, and I think that there was probably just better things that they could have done to just make sure that he was okay. So I think that there could be a little bit of malpractice there, but I can't really say. We'll see what happens in the future. Yeah, I think the Weekly family is definitely upset with the way that that was handled. I know that that was a pretty big damaging thing to see. The amount of time that Duck was laying there in pain and rocking back and forth with 16 bullets in his body. It just took them way too long to get him to the hospital. So I do think that they probably will end up pursuing some kind of like legal action or something in the future for the way that that was handled. So number 4.
And no amount of money is going to ease Mama Ducks, you know what I'm saying, just suffering from this loss, you know what I'm saying. She lost a son, she's lost numerous children, you know what I'm saying. But no amount of money is going to be enough to replace them. But, always a but, if she's able to get some money off of, you know what I'm saying, how they handle that, I hope she does. I hope she's able to get some, just be able to spend that money with her family and just, you know what I'm saying, stay out the way, do her whatever, you know what I'm saying, do her, but have peace, you know what I'm saying, like all that drama, you know what I'm saying. I hope she, you know what I'm saying, she's suffered enough, in my opinion. She's suffered the losses of numerous children. That's a lot to endure. I hope she has peace after this trial is over with, you know what I'm talking about.
Mulwap was actually arrested with the same hoodie that he had on in the surveillance cameras. See, that's another thing that actually linked him to the whole thing, allegedly. When they arrested him, he had on the same exact hoodie. It was just inside out. So the same exact hoodie that Mulwap had on that he was arrested in was the same exact hoodie that was in the surveillance camera for whoever committed the murder. So either the murderer had on a similar hoodie or it was the same person. Last but not least, number 5.
Here we go again. Now, me personally, all the clothing that I had on, if I went down there, you know what I'm saying, to the Gold Coast, you know what I'm saying, and did this heinous crime, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, the clothes gonna be, you gotta get rid of them clothes, man. You can't have them clothes still in circulation, like you still rocking them mugs, you know what I'm saying, like, you already know it's cameras out the yin-yang downtown, and you have, I mean, granted, inside out, I don't care if it's wrapped around your waist, you know what I'm saying, wrapped around your leg, you still wearing clothing from an assassination hit, man. Like, that's crazy, man. Like, them cars supposed to, you know what I'm saying, supposed to have been lost, them clothes supposed to have been lost, you know what I'm saying, possibly at the same time, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, that's just how I see it, you know what I'm talking about, man?
A lot of people probably don't know that happened in the case. FBG Butter actually had to take the stand, and he was one of the 3 witnesses that the feds were using to identify the O Block 6 and say that they were who they were. A lot of people don't know that Butter actually got up there and didn't tell them anything. He didn't give them any information. He didn't answer none of the questions. He basically pretended like he didn't remember half of what was said and done. He didn't give them anything substantial. And they were actually really upset about that. And they ended up impeaching him off of the state. So one of the 3 witnesses that the state actually didn't give them anything, and that was FBG butter. And those are the 5 things that happened at trial that you probably...
Now, with our dude Cooperator 3, you know what I'm saying? This gentleman, he's up there like, and everybody gonna have their opinion, you know what I'm saying? Some gonna say that he snitched, you know what I'm saying? Some gonna say that he finessed the system, you know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, Eddie Kane Jr., the brother in this instance, it's like he finessed the system, you know what I'm saying? He came out speaking one thing, then he backtracked on like she say, like didn't act like he misremembered, you know what I'm saying? He's switching up statements or whatnot. So, and this cat, he didn't fiscally benefit from, you know what I'm saying, his cooperation, but he got his family moved out of Iraq. So they got moved to another location for that. So that was his compensation for cooperation, you know what I'm talking about? But in this case, it's like he finessed the system, you know what I'm saying? But there's other instances where Butter has definitely... I saw one interrogation video with that brother. He basically, you know what I'm saying, just named names, you know what I'm saying, the people, you know what I'm saying, on camera. So the brother, he's a rat. But in this case, he finessed the system, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he still was a cooperator, but he also finessed the system. That's just how I see it, man. If you ain't no renegade, hit that sub button. You want to join us on the low key. Look at you, girl. Snake-free mission. Hit that join button. Welcome to the Renegades.